Coronavirus infections in England are at their lowest since August last year, but the Prime Minister has warned that the highly infectious Indian variant is of increasing concern.
The government's Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies will meet today to discuss the rising number of cases linked to the variant, particularly in some areas of the northwest. Our reporter Charlotte Wright has the details.
Campaigners who lost relatives to coronavirus have criticised the proposed start date for a public inquiry into the government's handling of the pandemic, saying spring next year is simply too late.
Labour has also questioned why the independent investigation can't begin sooner. Let's speak to our chief political correspondent. Time is just coming up to 10 minutes past 7. Let's have a quick look at the weather with Carol for us right now. Morning, Carol.
Morning.
Good morning, both.
Good run.
Pleasure.
It's 12 minutes past 7. Good morning to you. Thanks very much for joining us. Now, could deaths from coronavirus have been avoided in the UK? Was the test and trace system good value for money? Did care homes receive enough support?
Those are just some of the questions which will be examined in an independent inquiry into the handling of the pandemic, which was announced yesterday. The Prime Minister told MPs he's fully committed to learning lessons.
27 minutes past 7 is the time. It's time to find out what's happening wherever you are this morning with the news, travel and weather. See you shortly. 27 minutes past 7 is the time. It's time to find out what's happening wherever you are this morning with the news, travel and weather. See you shortly. Good morning, you're watching Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetty.
Time now exactly 7:30. Let's talk about the situation in Israel. It's one of our main stories this morning. James Cleverly is...
It's 19 minutes to 8. Good morning to you. OK, Jane, you're...
Before it's time right now, it's time for Carol with the weather.
Good morning, everyone.
Carol.
Just for you, Naga, just for you.
It's very much appreciated, although your temperatures are not. See you later.
Thank you, Carol. Let's see, time now is 7:48.
Inspirational, courageous and a superstar footballer. Now, those are just some of the tributes paid to 9-year-old Jordan Banks. He was killed on Tuesday after being struck by lightning.
Flowers and football boots have been placed at the playing field in Blackpool, where the schoolboy died. Our reporter Adam McLean.
6 minutes to 8 is the time. From this morning, around 1 million people aged 38 and 39 in England will be invited to book their COVID vaccine as the rollout progresses to the next stage.
It comes as concerns rise over the spread of the Indian variant in the UK, particularly in the northwest, where surge testing is underway.
Let's get the latest with Professor Adam on vaccines and immunisation.
Stay with us. Headlines come up in just a moment. Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga Munchetty and Charlie State.
Our headlines today.
Time now is 1 minute past 8. I'm so sorry, we have something that appears to be stuck on our screens just now. So we'll try and sort that out for you, but let's go to our main story this morning. Israel's president has warned of a senseless civil war after violent clashes between Arabs and Israelis spilled out to the country's streets.
Palestinian militants continued to launch dozens of rockets at Israel overnight after Israeli airstrikes destroyed a tower block in Gaza and killed senior commanders.
World leaders have been appealing for calm. Here's what the UK's Middle East Minister, James Cleverly, told us a little earlier.
Coronavirus infections in England are at their lowest level since August last year, but the Prime Minister has warned that the highly infectious Indian variant is of increasing concern.
The government's Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies will meet today to discuss the rising number of cases linked to the variant, particularly in some areas of the northwest. Our reporter Charlotte Wright has the details. Campaigners who lost relatives to coronavirus have criticised the proposed start date for a public inquiry into the government's handling of the pandemic, saying spring next year is simply too late.
The Labour Party's also questioned why the independent investigation can't begin sooner. Our chief political correspondent, Adam.
Those are the main stories for you. Time now is 10 minutes past 8.
Let's talk to Carol. She's changed the picture. I warn you, it's not the happiest of pictures.
Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
12 minutes past 8 is the time. You'll remember we've been following the story of Paul Harvey. He's the former music teacher. He lives with dementia, and his improvised piano piece became one of the surprise hits of last year.
One breakfast viewer was so moved by the song he donated £1 million to the charity. Graham Satchell has been finding out how some of that money has been spent.